Hi and welcome to Awaken to Joy. Today we are going to be covering dream walking, dreams, psychic interference. If you're into it, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Awaken to Joy. My favorite.
If I must say so myself.
If I must say so myself. Welcome to Awaken to Joy, my favorite, my bestest podcast about awareness and life in and consciousness. I think I nailed that intro.
You did, and we're going to keep it as such.
Right?
Right? What is a dream walker, really?
Do you know what comes to mind?
You tell me what comes to mind. I'll read you something.
I've gone off left, so don't expect a serious answer.
Is it going to be long?
No.
Then go ahead.
Okay, now you put the pressure on me. Time.
Okay,
go
fine.
On. I was thinking about the Wheel of Time.
Oh, yeah, that is a good show.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Wheel of Time. And
thinking about the Sandman.
Right.
Oh, this is really good, right?
Take it as you will.
Go ahead.
Wasn't she the Vortex? It was a dream walker.
Yeah. Well.
Did they call her the Vortex?
Yeah, she's the Vortex.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Apparently not, but they try and make out that it can only be one, and if it's not one, then
I've chosen one.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
I need to give you a backstory 500 years ago. She was whatever her name was, and she reincarnated this time around to create a new vortex. And you know
what? Reality is stranger than fiction. It is what it is.
True.
All right, come on, serious face now.
No, you were going to say something.
That was what I was going to say.
Okay.
Shenanigans. Let's go.
Shenanigans. Okay. Well, here's the thing. So I'm going to read something real quick. Yeah.
Go on.
So a dream walker may be described as someone who maintains awareness within dreams, moves consciously through dream environments, revisits recurring dream locations, experiences continuity between dream experiences. So some people report dream cities, recurring landscapes, and also consistent dream characters. So whether they real characters or no, but there's a consistency there. And shared symbols, so synchronicity, esoteric meanings, and the like. So have you experienced that?
Yes, I is a dream walker.
Okay, so am I. So go on, share an experience. I'll share my one. Okay.
Which one?
I don't know. You choose. Hey, this is your Bible, right? Bible of dreams and experiences.
I've got a couple of my dream journals here because I dream journal heavy. I've started to be. I had to stop dream journaling because I had a nosy mum.
There's not enough paper in the world for.
And I quickly realised, no, there's not. At the end of the day, I'm part of the problem. The rainforest is
yeah, TD. The rainforest, no more trees because Shem just put it all.
Can we say deforestation? In all fairness, dreams be dreaming, and I've been writing about them. So that's how I keep a log on some of the messages that I have, especially because a lot of my dreams are prophetic. So they will give me guidance for my daily life or for some of my readings. Sometimes they're just me going into some form of hypnagogic stage, like what people think is a dream. Sometimes it's just my body sleeping, but my consciousness is fully there. And then I'm able to slip into different states of awareness or consciousness, depending on what it is that I am trying to get more deeper knowledge about.
Right.
Okay. But this has been happening to me since childhood. I just didn't have vocabulary around it, and I wasn't surrounded by people who were very knowledgeable about it, or they had an idea about what it was, but that just wasn't their bag. So You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I
Yeah.
understand.
So that it was like their understanding was quite limited about it.
So have you experienced cities? What some people refer to the term astral cities. I think this is what they use. So yeah,
Like I
basically,
said, I don't really like to name these things because I found out that trying to name everything, like whether or not, it kind of locks it in. And then the way that I like to work is I don't like to label things unless I've been in that place told specifically where I am, where my location is,
right. Understand.
or if I've been shown that. Other than that, I don't like to label it as anything because often the answer to what it is, where it is specifically, the specificities on it will be revealed to me in waking life. So I like to allow these things to sometimes just be what they are at the time and stand as like a signpost
Right. Yeah.
rather than this big epic pillar of truth in some form,
Yeah. I
because
mean,
it's
I understand what you're saying. It's
yeah,
it's a difference between interpreting what you've experienced as what it is and trying to mentalize it and then
that's
become
more what it is. Yeah,
so mental about it and then trying to give it a earthly definition and then it's like it's like basically a mirror of what you experience here because now you're projecting a lot of things on that same said experience, which for the future experience does kind of like affect it because you already have and it's funny there's something I've heard before about
preconceived notions about it.
precursive notion. So basically what I've heard before was the idea of if I tell you, okay, I had an OB, or we're going to talk about OB specifically on that subject, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it works the same for dreams. And I say, well, I don't know, be I don't know. I've experienced I don't know. I'll make up the market of thoughts. Let's say not that it's something I have experienced, but let's say I don't know. It's a name, why? And I'll tell you what it consists of. Where people go there and trade their thoughts, and they do all sort of things like that. Let's say, and now that you've visualized it, you've integrating it as being maybe perhaps a possibility. Now there's a chances that when you go and have your own experience, you may reproduce that or a version of it, just because it's like not being to unseen some things that you've seen now. This been said, hadn't was never brought up, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just called activation in a sense. So it can be done positively, but also if someone is from certain distorted place, it could also have the
Have
potential
its
to affect
effects.
you.
Yeah.
And you realize also the necessity when you have these experiences, like you said, I think it's to just let it unfold and not trying to stand in the way of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I relate
Because you
to
want to
the idea of
do
that.
everything, you want to fix everything, you want to it be in control of everything, but some stuff you don't. And then you quite realize I'm the overarching consciousness that is allowing myself to experience this in any given time. The idea that I have to interfere to have control over this moment is not the vibration I need to be able to experience it in its fullness. That
Yeah.
was my findings personally.
Well, I found out something that was very interesting for me, and how I was able to decipher between me being influenced or trying to influence some things or stand in the way of something and not. And for me, the most profound experiences I had, it's when I didn't even expect it to. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, at all. It wasn't in my field. It was just like the first time I dreamt about someone in particular that I know, but I never ever in 40 plus years dreamed about that person. It happened with my grandmother actually. and I was very relevant what was taking place in that dream. And it was a bit more than a dream because it was a lucid dream, and I wasn't trying to manipulate that experience. I just found myself in it, but I was aware enough to realize, oh, snap, this is what's taking place, and observe what was happening. And every time, another one as well. These experiences are more like OBE because things all become realer, more physical, and you realize you're interacting with other people as well. I remember she gave me a hug, and it was very. She squeezed me when she gave me that hug. I felt the squeeze, and then I realized the fact that not in a million years, because of my relationship with her, I thought I would even dream about. So I knew for sure that was a different experience, but that was more meaningful because there was a message there. There was something for me to know, but then it wasn't based off somebody else saying, so somebody else telling me their own experience. It was very separate and isolated.
Yeah.
And I feel like these are the most relevant for me.
Yeah, me too. Because it's like I'm somebody who will re-question or say, that wasn't clear, run that back.
Yeah,
and
you
then
like me.
then I'll go back to the place and I'll say, okay, let me see where it is, or I missed this piece of the information, and I'll return to the same place of consciousness where I was to, I guess, investigate further or see more or reflect more on it or observe more.
Yeah. And then it's funny because in like looking back, some of these experiences, I was like, oh, it's a lucid dream. And I realized, no, I was having an OB because I started recalling certain events, certain things that took place. And that's when I know that I'm not interfering on that. But when I have my questioning, like you said, is if I heard story before, and this is why I'm very dubious of trying to go into a place everyone says, yeah, that's what that is, and that's what's happening. And I'm really, I'm not saying I wouldn't go. It's just taking my time with it to make sure that when I experience this in particular, I am dissociating myself from any influences or anybody who may have told me anything regarding that. And it's not that it's bad that someone tells you something, because sometimes it's necessary for your own knowledge and stuff like that. But yes.
Where do you draw the line between making these exchanges between people, these stories exchanging between people, inspirational, and then I'm hearing the word aspirational, like something that you feel like, wow, that'd be nice, and something is like, I have to do it.
When I definitely know that I don't want to be them.
Okay.
For me, it's no worshiping whatsoever. No, I mean, you can admire someone, but it's the reason why you admire someone. I'm very particular, very conscious in if I like someone or like what they're doing, and that is not from a place of lesser than.
But then also there's this overlay that you're French. Okay. And
Come on now. What is that? What in the world? You sound like me when I had my OBE, fully conscious, and say, "Oh, by the way, you're black." And I was like, "What?" In all the question, God damn.
you're French.
It was like,
You're French. They don't impress easy. They don't impress easy. They really don't. And if they do, it's like on the inside, not the outside. They're not playing that. They're like,
I don't
yeah,
think. No, I don't think that is
no, I
anything
don't
to
think it's
do with it,
something
though.
bad. It's just something. So you're not gonna. It's built in even your upbringing to not do that. You see what I'm saying? To not approach relationships or something like that.
Yeah, I guess there's something. It's not all French though. It's
I
a
know,
particular
countryside,
yeah, probably
country
that.
folk,
I
people
think
in the
so.
country folk.
Yeah,
They don't impress easy, and if they do, they'll never tell you. But then also, they're never going to let themselves like lose the plot because of it.
yeah, I understand.
They won't lose the plot.
Yeah,
They stay on script. They're like, nah,
stay
you're
on
good.
script.
Yeah, they do. They do. They're
I like to tell. Stay on script.
They do. They won't break character for you.
Yeah,
They don't
I get
care
it.
who you
I
are.
understand.
Yeah, they're not going to fall out and do all of this
But even though
business.
I'm
They
trying,
can appreciate you,
yeah,
but they're not going to fall out
I understand what you're
of
saying.
the chair for you.
Sure understand that cultural aspect, but I truly there's a step further than this as far as I'm concerned. Is being able to know what's the term,
Oh, you don't have to
like
explain.
a
No,
whether
the
like
first thing.
be like, because you can maybe appear like this, but if in your life you spend your time just obsessing and over worshipping uh, on the low, that's kind of the same anyway. It will affect you.
Yes and yes. So
Yeah,
yes for your
I get it.
first reason, and the
Yeah.
reinforcement for your Frenchness,
All right.
because it's like nature and nurture. Like it
Nature,
wasn't.
nature. I get you.
That was my.
So dream cities, like what do you make of it? Have you experienced this?
Yeah, I have.
Can you like talk about it? Do you want to talk about it? Matter of fact,
I'll talk about it
what's the
briefly.
difference between the city here and the dream city?
Nothing. Nothing. Dog shit. And oh no, no, no.
Wait. Distortion scale level. What is it?
Do you know what it is? I've been here in so-called waking life and been fine. Zero dog poo. Right?
Right.
I've been in what people will call the astral side, which is just dream state, if they want to. It just to have a differentiating term. Not that I want to get into the back and forth about it. Where I've simultaneously been around the corner from the house, I've been out of body, been around
Yeah.
the corner from the house, on my way back here from somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and then seen dog poo on the floor and been like, can't get the service nowadays. Is that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen it and I've just been like, all right. And then I've just walked around it and just been like, all right, fine.
Is it
So
that brings up
it's
something
very
though,
much the same.
but could it be our projections? So let's say you don't like dog poo, or you're saying, because in the same breath when you say I don't
It
like this,
wasn't.
I don't like that, or I want this, I want that, it also, it's like it's a funny balance. It's kind of that duality and this like opposite. Like when you acknowledge what you like, you also know there is what you don't like, and vice versa. So in terms of not personally, but a natural city, it's a participation of many souls that have created this. It is a possibility that these projections are there, and depending of the level of
But then I see
awareness,
what you're
and
saying.
yeah. So if that astral city, because there's not every astral city is I mean, I'm going to say dream cities are they not all the same? There's darker one than others.
Well, what it usually does for me, and when I usually find myself in those places, or if I consciously go to these places, if I say to myself, "All right, I'll just stay in town," like it's for a reason, and I usually do it to find out the underlying energies of what's going on in the energetic existence of here, rather than more mental, physical plane, and then I will see something. So that was also around about the same time we had a neighbor that had a new dog.
Yeah,
But it was just my way of letting me know there's a new dog here. That's all it was. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I know what these things mean to me because I know what it is I was out to do. Like I was just out to find out. Now I could take myself and go through my neighbor's house and go whatever. I don't do that because for me, that's my level of privacy, and I kind of have
yeah.
my own thing about how I am with my own privacy as far as that's concerned, if you can call it that. But yeah, how I am with my own, I call it a sanctuary here. So I tend not to go into people's homes because unless they invite me in.
Yeah, and even
Or
it depends who invites you in.
exactly. And it's everything depends. And it's definitely something that I find myself, if I am, I request it. Because energetically, like I said, I know what it means.
You know, often you hear people experiencing a consistency in certain cities. They may be art or landscape or even experiencing certain people. And it is not necessarily a gauge of lucidity as far as I'm concerned. I know, people may think so. Is sometimes, I would say, recurring patterns that need sometimes to be addressed, or sometimes to choosing of your soul desire to just experience whatever that it is to experience. But one thing that I have noticed, though, growing up, I had a lot of these things, but as I became older, I realized that dissociating myself from certain things, or have the strength to dissociate myself from certain people, they stop appearing in my dream state or even within the astral. And the only time they appearing, it was if there's a pertinent message that needed to be received. I don't know if that is the case for you.
Absolutely. And this is what, when I talk about to people, clear your field, you'll hear me say it a lot here, clear your field. It was a teaching that I was reminded about from an extremely long time ago. I'm not even going to put a time on it. Eons ago, I was reminded about it in this instance. And it's clearing your field is an energetic thing to do. You can do it on the physical plane and clear your space, go and tidy your room, go and, clean your house, bring fresh air in, make sure that there is adequate room for you to move around your space, or at least the most ideal, which some would call feng shui. Like, it's like whatever your form of that is, there's that, which is extremely effective energetically. But then when you're in dream state or in another state of consciousness, there is also another layer to that. And part of that layer is what you were saying, the communication with others, which people to communicate with and when and how, so that if you do have any information about that person, it's not skewed by the overlay of interacting with them more than you have to, or interacting with their energies if they're going through something. So if you receive anything about them, you well and know what it is. It's no question about it.
Yeah. Also, you can command, I've noticed as well, the type of version of them as well. There's many versions of people out there, and you don't have to. Well, that depends on your frequency as well. I guess if you on a higher frequency, you would interact with a higher version of them. That's the only,
If that's in existence, yeah.
if it is in existence, yes,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
or available
And
at the
even I
time.
say higher as we word it, yes.
As we were, yeah, we understand each other there. But
Yeah. I can relate to that.
yeah. So what about symbols?
Symbols is touch and go for me, because a lot of the times where you've been taught, like I was speaking about before in the last episode, about the dream book I was given when I was younger. And there's even ones like culturally, what we'll have, like from Jamaican culture, if you dream about fish, it's usually something to do with pregnancy. And where that is true in some respects, for some respects it's not, depending on what type of fish it is. Now, I'll liken it to this. It depends on the person, and it depends on where they are in their life, in their existence, yeah? So if you dream about fish, but it's for an 80-year-old, it may or may not be about her being pregnant, is what I'm saying. Make it make sense. All right? And then again,
Context.
maybe it is.
Yeah.
We always do firsts out here, don't we? And we don't stay closed off to anything. So there's that. But then at the same time, that's why context is so important.
Yes.
When even decoding symbols for yourself and having a protocol as to, that's where discernment comes in.
Well, it's funny because you did mention clearing your field, and I think part of context, the clearer the context, no, the clearer the field, the clearer the context. being influenced, I can tell you this is a real thing. You can be very much influenced about what's in your field
Mm,
deliberately, like knowingly and unknowingly. You could choose what you want to be influenced by. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's of your choosing for a particular experience. But
mm,
to be able to even begin to use your intuition as well, or at least benefit you, clearing your field is essential. And it's simple as sometimes not like parting with a friend that is always putting you down. Like it's just that has consequences. um and yeah, so, and we trying to overcomplicate it sometimes, but it is what it is. Or sometimes it's, you might have a lot of uh, uh, um gift from a person that don't didn't mean you well, and you holding on to this gift. This poses as well a certain charge in your energetic field. So yeah, in terms of doing what you're saying, can
yeah,
you feel there's definitely a strong relation with it?
there's a huge one, and I think we underestimate the concept of everything being energy. But if you just allowed yourself to just experience that for a second, then how much things are you holding on to that energetically don't serve you, or energetically don't mean you well, or are causing stagnation in your space? Like that table you've been meaning to replace or even move, that every time you walk there, you keep on bucking your foot on, or you keep on hitting your hip on. Why are you staying in discomfort where this is a matter of a decision? And then how do you do that energetically? Are you just making the decision to hold on to a certain friend or a certain person that you know, or a certain job? It could be 1,000 things as an energy because it's familiar, or because that's fear of loss, that very energy won't be transmuted and replaced by something that serves you better. And the same goes for these states of consciousness. Like if you're dreaming, why would you keep on recreating a nightmare for yourself? And if you do find yourself in reoccurring nightmares, why? What is it teaching you? What are you learning from observing it? And if you're not learning anything and you're just going deeper, deeper into a loop, why are you deciding to return to it?
Well, it's interesting because perhaps the interpretation of a nightmare, or if you, let's say, I think it's a created word to ill explain something that is of relevance. So for me, uh, nightmare don't exist. uh, and I explain myself. Let's say if you are a person who say, yeah, no, I don't care, nightmare, I don't get those wordings, but you are paying more attention in the content of it. So then that become a signal that let you know about something. And if you do interpret it like that, and then you withdraw the judgment from it and don't associate your pin your identity, to it,
Mm.
then you can reach a point of self analysis and being able to start, changing things around. Because sometimes it's an indication of, and purely seeing it as such. I think an over there's an there's a big charge. It's very charged when it comes to nightmare and shadow work and stuff like that, and it leads people to believe that this is bad. This is the bad version of a dream, and
That other one's a
it's
good
got to
version of a
stop, as
dream.
opposed why, and as opposed to be like, okay, what's that saying?
Well, we say
Um,
sweet dreams, don't we?
why?
Before someone goes to bed, oh, sweet dreams.
And you know what? It's funny because it's the same contradiction that I've noticed about. Okay, you talked before about the war, the celestial war,
Mm.
and what people will see as the um
Galactic wars.
no, I'm talking about the other one, what you're saying about the heavens, the celestial fact. Okay, let's not enter in the
Okay,
semantics
fine.
of it, but understand, but let's what's seen as
Yes.
angels and gods, right? And I'm like, if you take a minute to think, if you can't die and you fight and you use swords, what are you doing it for, really? And it's different, right? Here, people, if they go to war, they're like, well, there's a chance that my life, or what they perceive as their life here, ends, right? So they guard it preciously and they try not to die during the war, okay? Because if someone shoots you or use a sword, the chances of being gone is high, right?
Yeah.
But if I can go nowhere, we endlessly fighting. What is that about? And all these notions, I found out that because nightmare, you like you say, the belief that you can die in your dream, you realize this is not true, which means you're now interpreting and experiencing nightmare completely different.
Well, this is something that I had to go through when I was younger, reoccurring dreams. I think I call them reoccurring dreams because now that's how I like to handle them. Yeah. Recurring messages.
Yeah,
There's something I didn't see. What didn't I see? And my mind's playing it back a little bit like Sherlock Holmes. So if I go in there, I'm going in there with the mind of deduction, with the energy of deducing the situation to find out what it is what piece of nugget of information or intelligence is it that I'm trying to unearth through this,
yeah, I understand.
so that I don't have to keep on pressing replay on this.
Yes.
And then there'll be times where I realize, oh, this isn't mine and I'm not pressing replay. I'm just turning up at the flipping cinema all the time at the same time and watching somebody else's thing play out.
You know, the self-realization you had, it's this overspill, like the spillover that happens, that because people are very knowledgeable, no, okay, some people are, but a lot of people, they're not knowledgeable because no one told them, hey, guess what, this is how this work.
No, well, sometimes you realize that's not even mine.
Right.
That's not even mine. And I remember when we first moved here, there were a few nights where I was like, had this and it didn't last long, but it was always reoccurring. And I was like,
What's going on?
well, I know that that's not interference here. I know that that's not my field because, all right, that's another conversation. And then I realized I was picking up on the neighbors. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. That's really,
and I was like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong cinema room.
well, exactly. That's really relevant because, okay, this is another thing as well, because seeing it as the reason, because you were saying the way people feel about it, and not realizing that it's energy. And I think the term energy, when you talk about it, it sounds woohoo, like, you know, it's energetic, you know, and as much as it's true,
you could make anything sound woohoo if you really tried.
But then if you use the term quantum field, the field of creation that we all share, and these influences that naturally occur, not anyone trying anything first. I mean, there is other instances where people try things, but we're going to get to talk about it in a minute. But let's say, naturally speaking, your neighbor just next door, your bed, let's say you got a wall, your bed head is here, their bed head is here. What do you think happened?
You are sharing biofields, or at least there is an overlap there.
Definitely.
Your biofield is overlapping. So it's either you're going to move your bed, or you're going to consciously say, this is mine and this isn't mine. It's like the shopping. Yeah. You know, you go to the supermarket and you got that one person that doesn't put that little thing in the middle.
Yeah.
So you're like, hang on a minute, is this mine? No, that's my bread. Excuse me. That's my bread. You said it to the cashier.
Yeah.
No, that's mine. And then you're like, oh, okay, sorry.
No arms down, but it is what it is.
Boom.
It's funny because this is something that is highly probable to many. And you take it on as being used necessarily, which is, like you just said, you demonstrated it perfectly, which is might not be. So I think part of dreaming and understand what dreams are, it's important for you to understand how it works, the mechanics, the nature of this reality. And like you mentioned in the other episode, the idea that maybe life is a dream that can be interpreted as such. It's because it's a funny mirroring what's taking place.
Well, the reason I would say that as well is because, say something's happening in my dream and I'm like, I don't really like this, but I am in control. So I'll say, no, I do not consent.
Yeah.
And then I watch the reality change around me to something that's more consensual to me.
Yeah, it's
See what I'm saying?
relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in dream state, right? So I was like, okay, but then if this is the dream, then what do I not consent to here?
True.
And I say I do not consent about 3 times a day, especially at the beginning when I was getting my practice in about how to move here, how to maneuver here, how to move in the space that everyone calls the matrix, right?
Yeah.
Call it what you want. How do you move here? It don't matter about none of these labels. It doesn't matter about anything like that. If you haven't really fathomed how to move here, that's where the nightmares and the struggle and the anguish and the pain and the suffering and the poverty and everything else that comes with it creeps into your existence. And then you jump on the loop and you find yourself in front of a movie that is not yours.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's the nightmare that it's the reoccurring nightmare that you can just jump off of the loop of.
Yeah. If you think it's a nightmare.
If you see it as such,
Yeah.
and if you say, oh, I did not consent, or why is this happening? Like getting over my fear of spiders, right? So I was scared of spiders. Arachnophobia, the film, had something huge to do with it. But then also a childhood happening where I had to spend a lot of time under a staircase.
Fiance's.
If you know, you know. Anyhow, so there's that. But then by the time I was older, I was like, come on, Shem. You're out here, like, big woman, running from spiders, and your kids are watching you now. And I didn't like what it looked like on them. So I was like, wow, I got to kind of just,
Well,
you know what I mean?
it is pretty much how they depict it, though. Being dangerous,
it is.
venomous,
Right.
like
And all
snakes.
of these things. And then I thought to myself, all right, I'm ready to do away with that. And I just didn't give it a second thought. But that night, when I went to sleep, I woke up and I was out of body already. I was like, okay, because I do what people would call spontaneous OBE. So you just find yourself already out. I don't have to look back and find out whatever. I feel everything. I see everything. I see my awareness is here. Boom. So I got on with the storyline, right? So I'm in this place and I'm in a room setting where it's like in the house. And I was like, okay, this isn't my house, but I see myself here, a group of people who I didn't know. But when I looked into their eyes, I was like, okay, this is not people. I can tell the difference between somebody who is supposedly people or people that is like more, I'm going to run a simulation.
Yeah.
They got it's a look, it's in the eyes. And I was like, what am I here for? And I just waited a little bit. And then this guy, he takes a spider that he finds like running up the side of the door. And he takes it and he's like, oh my God, I got this spider. And I immediately do what I always do, which is find myself as far away as I can from said person and said spider.
Yeah.
And he lobbed it at me. And it like knocked on my arm and like dropped on the floor. And then just as it did that, I start screaming, right? As I do, uncontrollably, like it bit me. No bite. Okay, just for the record, I didn't get bitten. No one got hurt, right? I did the same reaction, and I realized, wow, this is happening in my body, even when I'm in dream state. So I'm like, I'm carrying this in both states. So I was like, That
But
was one observation.
that's funny you mentioned this though, the
Yeah.
physicality of it, because even under the illusion, and that's why I was pointed back to the example of the celestial war you witnessed, and the fact that you can't die. You can't die is what you're scared of. The very fair manifests the physical pain, physical interpretation, really. And it happens to me as well when I had my conscious OBE, but I was not from, I mean, I had of a conscious OBE, but it was, like you said, I just found myself to a place and down. Not, I'm talking about the one where I really lift off of my body and never fell asleep. And now I remember one thing is I wanted to fly and I had a bit of a doubt. And the doubt in itself was based off me, the idea of falling. And then when I fell, I saw the ground and I was like, that's gonna hurt. So I was able to physically create that pain, but I didn't feel that pain. It's a very weird feeling. But that's reminding me of that, and that shows you the influence how far it goes. Because
Yeah.
you fell, but you didn't even. Nothing happened. Nothing was ever
No,
gonna happen. You were never gonna
nothing
die
was ever
from
going
it.
to happen. And then I was standing next to someone and they said, see, nothing happened. You just screamed, and all that is an ant with long legs. And I was like,
When you put it that way.
when you put it that way. So I'm wilding out here, pulling on some random person's curtains, dragging up their curtains just to get away from this thing who touched me. I'm fine, mind you. And I've gone through this whole thing energetically. And then I looked across and I saw this guy who threw it at me. And I saw the joy in his eyes to have me in that state. And I was like, he is a sadistic. He's sadistic. He likes it. The more I scream, it brings him something. And I was like, oh. And immediately I understood the assignment. I was like, oh, I catch it. I caught it. It's a whole thing. It's part of that energetic siphoning that we put ourselves through. It's like
Yeah,
I domesticated myself to be scared of spiders. So now there was this whole entire, I was feeding this thing. With
yeah.
my fears and my body reaction. And every time I fed it, I didn't feed it just here. I fed it on an energetic level, which happened on both sides, physical plane and that energetic plane, or whatever you want to name it, both states. And I
Well,
was like, nah, I don't like that.
the idea of as above, so below led me to think, and certain stories I've experienced, but things you've experienced that you shared with me led me to think that the level of forgetfulness that is in this construct, and because we're in a construct with different realm, it's going all the way through, permeating all the way through the construct. You have to have a level of forgetfulness, specifically if, let's say, I wanted to war and fight against someone, unless it's for pure entertainment purposes. But like I'm saying, like I'm not upset or playing a game or fighting, but I know I can't die unless I believe to be so, I guess. So I will resolve my existence at that point, because I will think like, if I lose this war, it's me over. But that's only down to that belief, I guess. But then what would be the point of fighting if you cannot really kill someone? There's no harm. The whole point when you fight and you have a war is one will lose and one will win. How's that even possible if no one can ever die or no disappear if they don't believe it to be so, which talks about the idea of sovereignty, which is throughout the dream, because it's what's happened when you dream. You can't die in your dream unless you decide to go from this realm. You take the decision. No one can take
And
the
then
decision for
even
you.
then, it's not like you have to then play out your death. Like,
No, absolutely.
you're just like, all right, then I'm not going back. It's like, all right, then, well, I'll
Yeah,
keep on
right.
walking that way. It's
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
so
You're
I get
willing yourself to
it, and
yeah.
I'm not going to say I found out the hard way. I just found out in a way that was like, oh, that's not true. I was terrified for a very long time as a child to die, because
Do not die in your dream.
in
Yeah.
my dreams, because my dreams were wilding, and I was like, yo, I need to stay alive. So if I saw something I was scared of, I would run. And if I saw something that was dangerous, I would hide, I would run, I'd be scared, I would cower.
Like a lot of us did.
But that was based on the lie that if I died there, then that would be it, and I'd never come back home.
Well, that's my point about the contradiction, the oxymoron between the idea that dreams, even if you are someone that believes dreams are not true, and if they're not true, whatever happened there, it's not true either. Which
So
means
why
that
are
if
you
you
shook?
right,
That was my thing as a kid. And then I said, but if I keep on waking up after this nightmare, and it's like, yeah, but you're only waking up because you got away from them.
why?
You got away.
But it is
You
not true.
survived
If it has no
it.
validity, if this has no validity, that's what I say about cherry picking. And the more you do this and you're more exigent with yourself, you begin to become stronger because you're like, no, this has no validity. It's whether it's this or not. So then if it is this, then that has no validity. Whatever happened, that's mean at any time I can turn around and I know it's not true and stand my ground, which mean now, and you'll be surprised when you do that, the dreams stop.
Yeah.
Like how many dream I have now, I'm just stopping there. I don't like what
It's like and scene. And then all the actors and players put down their stuff.
Yeah.
So after that, after the whole spider incident, I saw it in his face. I said, oh. I was like, I'm not scared. Are you done here? And he just was taken back.
Yeah, was shocked.
And then he left out of the door like it wasn't even his house. And that was it. And then I was like, I think I'm done here. And I left. And that's my thing. Like, well, then why do we talk even about nightmares? Why do we even
that's my point.
Feed it? And I was like, just to feed just to feed that thing that feeds off of that fear.
Mm-hmm. It's
just to feed the fear itself.
Exactly. And when you understand it is a shared field of creation, the quantum field, that's what it is. You then realize like, okay, so now you're more conscious because you're like, okay, well, there is a possibility that I have been influenced by this. You're not taking it too personal. You're not trying to identify yourself with it. You have more compassion with it. So wanted to address another thing as well, meditation versus lucidity. So I'm going to explain why this question came about. I always felt there was a bit of a contradiction, and I wanted to kind of talk about this. So here is a question for you, and you, of course. If I can meditate deeply while awake, why can I not automatically control my dreams? Is it not the same state of consciousness? Or is it different? And if it is, how?
I don't have words to answer that.
So I'm going to talk about meditation then. So meditation generally occur with waking awareness, stable self-reference. That's an important one. And sensory input reduced but present. Dreaming occur with altered brain chemistry, different memory systems, reduced executive control, and symbolic processing. This is how it's been interpreted and seen. However, the consciousness may remain aware, yet the operating environment has changed. So there's a metaphor for it. Meditation may be learning to drive a car. Dreaming may be learning to fly an aircraft. Both involve awareness. Mm-hmm. The environment is different. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just putting a perspective here in order to understand. Because I always wondered, as if someone goes into deep meditation, talk to the guides or have an experience and reach the astral. After all, it's the same space. You can reach the astral. And I'm not talking about the other realm because that's not what I'm doing. That's not the goal here. It's more, the goal is to understand. And I'm going to sleep, let's say, and I find myself in the astral. And trust me, the astral, you can recognize what it is and how it is, right? And I'm not talking about your personal dimensional space, although the question is perhaps you're creating this dimensional space while in the astral.
Is that true?
Most likely. then tell me why. If not, it's just down to a belief system you're holding on to. There's a difference in your awareness when you're in deep meditation, sometimes even in hypnagogic state. In both of the case, it is. You're going through that. You can go through that state. Why wouldn't it be the same? Or is it down to just purely us making the differentiation, but still like an underlying difference between dreaming and maybe less control, even though we may not admit it, because like say, no, it's not this and that. But on the subconscious level, let's say, we're still holding on to that belief because perhaps it suits us or not. I don't know. It's an interesting perspective, I felt.
I'm trying to put words to what it is that I'm experiencing right now. No, because I do meditation, okay? Like, I do meditation. That's usually how I will feel into certain energy fields, or just if before I do a reading, if I'm called to do a meditation first on the energies, just to tap into any information, any further information that I can get, then I'll do that through meditation, or a meditative state is what I like to call it. But no matter what we call it, I know that I'm still, the I am of me is still there in all those spaces, whether it be I am dreaming, I am sleeping, I am hypnagogic stage, I am OBEs, I am NDE, the moth thing. But that's another subject. But whatever it is, I'm seemingly always there. So I would say the only difference is what my intention was going in and the state of my physical body.
Is it?
Sometimes.
What if you lay down when you're having a meditation?
If I lay down when I'm having meditation, it's anyone's guess. Throwing dice out here. If my
snoring
body tired,
within 5 minutes.
Sometimes I wake myself up with my own snore. That's how I'm out the meditation, because I just and I'm like, what is that noise? I'm like, oh, it's me. Oh, I'm out. It's that.
I know. Silly enough.
Dribble. And then I'm like, so there's that. But then there's sometimes where I'm just like, I'll daydream into it. That's how my preferred one is.
You call it daydream. You see what I mean? What my point is, the point I'm making here, or I'm demonstrating, perhaps, this is only down to your belief. Only, nothing else. There's no actual difference. Or is it? I have been having dreams when I doze off. Are they dreams?
Sometimes.
Why?
It's for me, I like to just call it all different places that you're pointing the projector that is you.
Well,
the awareness that is you. Like, where are you pointing your awareness at any given time is how I like to see it.
Exactly.
More that.
I resonate with that. And I'm going to say something just before someone may say, which I can, see someone thinking like, yeah, but these are different states of consciousness. Yes. I mean, different states of consciousness. I can tell you during the day, you can do your day and you have, you state of consciousness changes. You can drive a car and then you didn't realize you did the drive because you're so used to it. Yeah. That's another state of consciousness, as opposed to if you were driving your car and be fully present. So we do experience that constantly. There's a fluctuation here. But what we're trying to establish here is the common denominator. And I think you said something here, which is no matter what, I am. I'm in the I am.
Yeah.
So no matter the state, but also the fact that if that is so, if someone had an absolute control through the meditation and find themselves in a deep meditation, and then believe that it's still finding hard to have dream recall or actually being controlled, let's say more in control in the dream, perhaps that they just believe there is a difference between the two. And that's only what keeps them out of control in the first place.
Yeah, could be, because I've had things where it's like I'm starting off in meditation and gone into a dream. I've gone into from meditation into OBEs, or feelings of OBEs, but you know what I mean. What
Yeah,
people would
I
consider
get
an
you.
OBE. I've been in meditation and just stayed in that space of knowing and still wanting to keep my physical awareness there as well. And then there's been times where I've been like, no, I've lost all awareness of physicality, and then I've gone somewhere else. It just depends on what I've felt into at any given time, or what I felt like I wanted to do. Or sometimes I just let it flow where it has to at that given stage.
So it sounds very intention led.
Yeah, it is for me. It is for
Could
me.
could that, because you're going into a meditation? Would you say you have more chances to be lucid when you do so, just based off the attention alone?
Depends where I'm going.
Right.
Depends where I'm going, and depends if I care for it. Most of the time, I try not to control it too much, because it takes away from what it is. It's like if I say I must hold on to my physicality, then I've said no to all of the places where you are appearing as a non-physical being. And why would I not want to experience that at some point, if I felt like it was going to serve my experience?
So you said something that's very relevant. I think it's more physical doesn't mean more lucid necessarily. You could have less physical, be less physically present as you decide not necessarily to move with your physical form, but be as present
Yeah. And
upon your choice.
yeah, upon my choice. But then there's also what we decide is physicality here pales in comparison to what we know it to be when you are in OBE state. Because in OBE state, I'll fly,
Yeah.
I'll glide.
Yeah.
That's my preferred movement of choice.
Yeah.
That and just straight teleportation. I
Yeah.
go to where I need to go. Here, kind of lagging behind. Not gonna lie to you.
I mean, I've been conscious
Your girl don't even
before.
want to run for the bus.
No,
That's where I'm at.
no, I know,
You
but
see what I'm saying? So
I
it's
get you.
like, it's a choice.
I get you. I get you. I mean, I've been conscious before, very conscious, very, very conscious, but not physical at all. In a plane of existence that was just consciousness, extremely conscious.
That is my point.
Waking up in a plane of existence that was more physical than conscious,
Exactly.
and then waking up here.
Right. It and it had you decide to go in and
So
I don't
yeah,
know, decide everything, then you may have immediately just fallen out of frequency with one of those experiences.
absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a good approach to do exactly what you're saying.
So yeah.
So, psychic influence. Now, I wanted to touch on that and energetic interference.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say what it consists of for the most part. So, people describe it often as night terrors, spiritual attack, sleep paralysis, shadow beings, energetic intrusion, disturbing dream experiences. So there's different interpretation depending on the culture. So spiritually and energetically. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's made up? Do you think it's only us, or do you think there is a global participation?
All of the above. All of the above. Have I experienced it? Yeah, sure I have. Jeez. Of course I have.
All right, let's remain practical then. If this is all the above, when you experience one of these, what's your go-to place? What is your go-to place? Your protocol, if you have any, and what would be your best advice?
Okay. There's a lot. Which one? Do you want to start at? What one do you want to start at?
Just make it make sense to you.
Okay. So I will start at this realm then. This realm in your walking life, energetic energetic stuff. If you are an empath, if you're somebody who walks into a room and feels whether the vibe is off or not, anything like that, and you might not even call yourself an empath and you don't have to label it, but I'm just giving it that for the sake of this explanation, then energetically, if you know that something drains you, you're not going to find yourself in that place. And maybe it's not the place, maybe it's a person, a particular person, and you find that your interactions with them always lead with your sense of lethargy or depletion in some way, then there we go. That is the energetic interference, or the allowing of your energy to be siphoned or harvest, or whatever you want it to call it. Then there could be a dream state, a nightmare, like I explained earlier with the spider. And that was me allowing, that was me consenting to a reoccurring energy siphoning. So every time I'd get scared and terrified, whether it be here or in dream state for the same thing, there would be another energy field siphoning that energy I would exchange off of it to then feed itself. The same goes on and on and on and on. We are energy. Everything is energy. So when you move in, whether it's your waking life or your sleeping life, whatever you want to call it, with that in mind now, with that in your knowing, what choices are you making? Are you choosing to give that up in some way? And if so, why? And does it serve you? And if it doesn't, then why do you continue to do it? And is the continuing serving you? Because sometimes it is. Because there's something there that, there's a belief there that somehow if you don't do it, that you're going to suffer. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's easier when it's like, oh, I believe that spiders are dangerous, so I'm scared of spiders. There's that. But then what about, I believe I have to stay in a relationship where I'm not appreciated, because that's still a siphoning. Do you feel underappreciated by maybe a job? Do you go there and leave back feeling like you are spent? That's the other. You can call it a psychic attack. You can call it, give it whatever name you want. Are you willingly or unwillingly consenting to this exchange? And this is what a lot of me experiencing even as a child had to get through, like, what is this and why is this occurring? And if you don't, because if you're going to be constantly traveling through different realms of reality, different instances, you better become very astute when it comes to that, because you will be depleted, and they will take because they can, or because they need to, or they feel that that's their right, or they want to. And it could be any one of any person or anything, and it doesn't make it good or bad. It just is what it is. And because it is what it is, then you have to be who you have to be, and you have to do what you have to do.
Well, I think the two books that we've released, your book when it comes to the pillars of governed mind, of the governed mind, I think what it is about this, it's because you had this message during the Nobi and teaching you, for you to teach others as well, how you interact in this reality right now. I think it is something extremely relevant in terms of energy exchange and ciphering, and how you allow these things in your life casually, not even sometimes realizing, just agreeing to things that you don't really align with, but you think, that's the way it is, so you keep on doing it. I think these are essential part to understand. And even when I was inspired to come with the command your reality, that was basically solely for changing the terms of my reality, in the idea that, you're supposed to pray every night before you go to bed, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, you're supposed to command what you want, and it's not out of fear. It's just the same way you go to a shop and start ordering stuff. That's it. That's what I want. That's what I command.
Argos.
Argos, say out. Just go ahead and what? Well, I don't know, you guys, Walmart or whatever. Just go and place your order and command this thing. So we do have these two books, so link in the description if you're interested. But it is essential that people begin to step into their own power. And when I hear what you say and how you explain, you know, how this is based on what you allow, essentially. I think ultimately, and it reminds me of I think it's what The Wheel of Time. Is that what it is? That show?
Depends what part you're talking about.
When she believed she lost her power, but all along her power was there. She just believed. He made her believe that her power didn't exist anymore. She didn't have it anymore.
Muted herself.
It's so relevant, and it's a game to remember that it is a game. Life is pretty much a game.
Of energy, if you want to call it game, school, call it what you want.
Call it what you want, yeah.
Your biofield is yours to command.
Yeah, but anyway, so I wanted to, if you're finished with what you've explained, I wanted to move on to basically one simple things. I was going to, it's just more for information. So, is there any influence out there? I do believe there is.
There is. There's a list of them.
That's an agreement. There's technologies that's been over the years used, and like voice to skull technology. These are being technology that has been used for different purposes now.
And also, just to put out there as well, they're not new. This isn't some sort of new invention that has been done by some brainchild. And I know that we often get presented technologies as the new bit, the new thing, cutting edge. But then why is the patent 200 years old plus? Riddle me that.
Riddle me that. Yeah.
So there's that. So a lot of these are old and they're bringing it up like it's new. There's nothing new under the sun. That is literally just things that they were given or took or whatever. It came into their possession. That's how they're choosing to use it and roll it out. Unbeknownst to you, you're out here like, oh my God, it's so cutting edge. What is this? And yeah, you play the game of this is new. When at its very essence, how can it be? We already have Wi-Fi. We already have Wi-Fi. How does that make this do that? Through the air? What could it be?
Well, it's Nikola Tesla's technology, isn't it? In the first place. But
is it? Or did he see that somewhere?
Well, he always say that he had OBEs and out-of-body experience, and he was actually coming back with this information. So he never hit it.
No, I'm not saying that, but that's what we say because we
I know you're not saying that.
We want to own different things, and that's just the way that this part of the realm has been ran for this.
Yeah, pretty much
for this part of it. So yeah, there's that.
Well, I've stumbled upon. Yeah. On a few things. So basically there's research has explored already a few things, like something called auditory perception through directed energy. And I'm not saying this is what's used on you right now or anything like this. It's just, to open our mind to things that exist, that are out there. And they've got also the microwave auditory effect. They got brain-computer interfaces. So brain-computer interfaces, you guys might have already known about this, which is when someone loses the ability to speak, they're able to use the signal, the intentions, and it translates into a computer, into a voice. So they can communicate. And neurostimulation. So these are all very common things. And these are things that basically are there. And if that has the ability to, I don't like to say influence, but impact you in some ways, and any perception, then it can be used in different ways. Even you can use some of it in your advantages.
I think that this is why it comes down to awareness. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I liken it to when the one of the most important things that I do like to let the kids know, is about awareness. Be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, I
It's
agree
not
with that.
about vigilance.
No, it's be
Be
aware.
careful.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Just be aware. Just be aware.
Well,
These are things that can pass under the radar, so to speak. But if you're doing things in unawareness, then when this technology may or may not be used on you, you won't be able to catch the times of what shopping is yours and what shopping is someone else's. And then before you know it, you paid for the person in front sticker bar and you're like, what is that?
this is so true.
And then you're like, Snicker bar. And then you only realize when you're out the shop and you got the receipt, you're like, Snicker bar? I don't have no Snicker
I
bar.
don't have nothing to think about. Yeah, it's
They
true.
do, though.
Yeah, but you paid for it, no?
You're welcome. It's that. That's all it is. And I
Yeah.
know we get to vilify things and just step back a little bit and
Chill,
just be
chill.
like,
Yeah,
let me chill out on this one, because where is getting uptight going to get me? But no,
it's true. Well,
you see what I'm saying? Just that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, on that note, I wanted to actually cover just one of them, and I found it very interesting. And that actually meet you where you said it's not new. So it's called the microwave auditory effect, and that's been supposed allegedly discovered by someone called Alan Frey in 1960s. So it describes a situation where pulsed microwave energy can produce the perception of sound inside the head. So people reported, hearing click, buzzes, chirps, knocks, etc. Even though it's what they describe it as is very subtle noises.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's 1960s. It's been a while, and if you can produce that could open the idea that basically other things could be done easily. So knowing that this is how it works, things the unseen, things you don't see. So being next door to your neighbor and sharing dream state, I guess, not dream state, field, our field with one another, it's highly possible. So identifying yourself to your nightmares may not be sometimes the best thing to do, and have more of an open approach that it may not be yours. It may be, and even if it is, what does it tell you? I think it's essential that we understand that, because I walked into your dream before.
Yeah.
You walked into mine.
Yeah. But then we do have a consent and we have a consent going on.
We do, but the idea that in terms of is it possible or not, is it doable, this is very common. Family members do it all the time because being to proximity to one another, and also the knowledge that one another exists. I think that comes back to what you say, clearing your field is essential, which means if you have someone very negative or very like a heavy energy around you, someone that you don't wish to even share your field like that with, that perhaps that you need not to be that close to these people.
A lot of the time you'll find out where someone's integrity lies on seeing how they react in a space that they think is not real. So a lot of the times I've been on the other side and I've been seeing how people carry themselves or what they say, thinking that it's not and like you find out people's intentions. It's clear, you can't lie.
Yeah.
It's there. It's like wearing your heart on your sleeve. That's a thing here. Over there, it's like most people do because they think that it's not real.
Yeah.
So they end up doing it.
Yeah, true.
And then you end up seeing it.
Well, it's based on your belief.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's hence why your belief system or the belief system you hold on to will somewhat impact you.
Yeah. Yeah. But then also where it comes to this, what you were saying about energetic interferences as well. I mean, there'll be times where I'll know already, it's got to the point where I'll know already if someone wants to interfere in my dream space.
Yeah.
And normally it's now on an energetic level. So I'll know it before it's going to happen. Like I'll be alerted by it
with your intuition,
with my
discernment.
intuition.
Yeah.
And that's why intuition is so key as well. But people throw that out as well. But that's another episode. But they're all one in the same.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, brilliant tool. Do not throw it out. Mind you can't if you tried, but people do give a good try at switching it off. And found myself in a dream state where I was with people who were in this life trying to hide things from me willingly, or trying to not be forthcoming as to the way they felt about something. And then on the other side, just blurting it out.
Yeah, going wild.
Just like how people are when they've had a couple of drinks and they're just...
Yeah, it's true.
Just saying what it is. And you're like, okay, well, cool, say less.
Command your reality. Command your reality. I mean, for me, it's what you ought to do. You order. You place the order. Don't let somebody else doing it for you.
Yeah.
This is...
Are you getting someone else's Amazon wish list delivered to your yard, and are you paying for it? Right. And then are you keeping the list? Like, what are you doing? Make your own wish list and pay for your own drop-in and get it delivered to you live and direct. It's that energy, and it's not hocus pocus. It's just what you may have been misinformed about or miseducated about, and that's okay as well. It's all okay. Just, you can choose differently. It is available to you if you want.
Yeah. So I think we're done here. So
okay.
Everything about us, our services, books, products, you name it. You go to www.theos888.com.
Yeah, and everything's there. And if you want to catch us on the internet, then every Sunday we go live. And at the end of the month, we will do like a meetup usually. So we'll see you there. And if there's anything that you do want to reach out to us anonymously and share with the community, we do frequency asked questions where we answer your anonymous, whether you want to share a story or you have a question you want to ask and you don't want everyone to know who you are. You email us at tellus@theos888.com. And everything is in the description box. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.